Hi, this is Majana. If you are enjoying Fun Astrology, would you please go on iTunes and give Thomas a 5-star review and just jot down a couple of sentences in a review? That really helps get the word out. Thanks.
Well, we are going to have some massive fire in the sky this afternoon. This eclipse is shaping up to be really cool. Let's talk about it. So the eclipse starts at 5:31 p.m. this afternoon Eastern Time, according to NASA. And then the full moon is going to be at 5:38 p.m., again, according to most of the sources that I can validate. There is so much going on with this that I had to, oh, by the way, hi, Thomas Miller, and welcome into the Eclipse edition of the Fun Astrology podcast. Just got carried away with what's going on so much that forgot to say hi. So let's say 38 after the hour, and then 11 minutes after that, there's just a massive formation in the sky that is so cool. And what I think of when I see this is there are going to be thousands of babies born around the United States once this aspect takes shape. And oh my goodness, is there ever going to be just some power-packed people with this? Get ready. That generation, oi, they've coming in with some juju. All right, I'm going to hop up, if you don't mind, up to this 49 after the hour formation, because it will be in like say 20 minutes away when the eclipse begins. And when the full moon peaks at 38, it's only 11 minutes, so it's like the whole crescendo is just coming up to this. It won't be in place at those exact moments, but boy, you'll be feeling it, and the afterward energy is going to be huge on this one. Okay, so what have we got? We've got the moon at 24 degrees Capricorn this afternoon. We'll be going into the eclipse. Its next door bedfellow is Pluto at 21 degrees, and also in the house, in the sign. Yeah, with astrology, you have to be careful with that, right? The other guys are in the house. Wait a minute. You're looking at Placidus. They're not in the house. Don't even go into that argument. I'm not going there. But anyway, I'm looking at a whole sign chart right now, and Saturn and the South Node and Pluto, of course, are still there. However, this eclipse is taking place at 24 degrees. So really the only, let's say, energetic neighbor that we can count on this is Pluto at 21. The other guys are a little bit too far out because they're in retrograde. Well, the lunar nodes always go backwards because they're points in the sky, and Saturn is still in retrograde until the fall, so is Pluto. So anyway, that's all happening in Capricorn. Now, across from that, so here's the tension energy. The sun in Cancer at 24 degrees. Nothing new. We've been following that. Also, of course, the North Node is over there in Cancer. So that energy is still very much in place. Also, you've got to count Mercury on this in retrograde because it's at 1 degree now, Leo, getting ready to bounce itself back into Cancer. Anybody else been dealing with Mercury retrograde? Try doing a podcast in Mercury retrograde. It's like, yep, the little trickster's been doing his thing, so he'll be back in the Cancer party here in just a few days. And will be conjunct the sun. I mean, that's where everybody's been watching this Mercury retrograde. Is like, oh, God. Well, set intentions. It's all good. I think these are just signposts. You've heard me say that a gazillion times. This is where the potential energy is, and then you have free will. You have free choice around that. Okay, then here's what forms up. This is so cool. Goodness sakes. Just love this. I had to write it all down. I had to take a piece of paper and just kind of parse this out. The first thing that shapes up that I'm going to focus on is this mystic rectangle. All right, I mentioned this over the weekend, but in the top left corner, just picture a rectangle standing vertically. So the short sides are horizontal. It's standing up basically like a tower, a building. Okay? In the upper left, midheaven, that's your career. That's your who you are out there in the world when you are being your persona in the world, like your status in the world, that kind of status. Not confused with the ascendant persona, the midheaven persona. It's who you are in your community in the world, who you stand up and stand out as. Oh, he's a banker. Oh, he's an attorney. Oh, she's a doctor. It's that kind of persona. And it usually involves career, right? Midheaven equals career in astrology. So that's the midheaven is on one side. The other upper right side is Venus, in Cancer. That's really interesting. Also the North Node. All right, let's build the base. In the lower left is a great base, Saturn in Capricorn, along with the other two of the big three, the South Node and Pluto. And in the lower right is Neptune in Pisces. Neptune's been at home all this time. Neptune is at home in Pisces for quite a long while. And all of those are favorable energies. So you can just build your own tower. What do you need to construct? You have a job thing going on? Bring some Venus into it. Venus is benefic. Venus is expansive. Venus likes to make money. Oh, and this is kind of interesting. Now, this will change depending on geography, but where I am in the middle U.S., in the Dallas-Fort Worth area right now, all of the eclipse is happening in the second house, which is our possessions and our money, our making money, our earning money, our accumulating money. So you might factor that in when you start to build this tower that is super, super cool. So if you've got some financial stuff, some business stuff, use the eclipse energy. It will be around for at least 3 days. That always happens around a full moon. You're feeling it now. You'll just feel it continually through the day and tomorrow and the next day and basically kind of coasting on down through the week. The eclipse energy might linger a little bit longer, so you can really work with this. So if you have a project, you can really gun it this week. Money making, like if you've got some money that's just right out there but you haven't collected it yet, take a little extra effort to bring it in. Use this to gather it, because you have Venus, which is all about ruling money. You've got Saturn in Capricorn. That's the base. That's the solid foundation. In the second house, if you're in that part of the world, basically a swath across the middle section of the United States would work for this. You've got the midheaven, so your career could be advantageous. And then you've got Neptune. Bring intuition into it. Bring dreaminess into it. I watched a documentary on Walt Disney. Walt Disney had a strong Neptune up in his 10th house. Yes, I had to, of course, look after I watched the documentary. Neptune was sitting right next to his midheaven. Wouldn't it make sense that he created dreamlands as his career? Imagineering describes it most perfectly, and of course wow, what an amazing individual he was. Now, there's one other, and this is the big one. This one adds so much cool energy to the whole process. So that rectangle is totally all favorable energy. It's sextiles and trines. 2 sextiles form the top and the bottom, and the trines form the sides of our little tower. Then, inside that, another favorable aspect, this being, we've mentioned it before when it shows up, grand trine. That's a triangle of favorable trines. And this one is all fire. Catch this. Here are the 3 points of the triangle. The ascendant in Sagittarius, Mars in Leo, and Chiron, the wounded healer, in Aries. Man, you talk about an energetic day. Oh my gosh. Just an eclipse alone would be enough. Just a full moon alone would be enough. You've got both of those combined, then you've got the rectangle, then you've got the triangle, the grand trine. Oh my gosh, what a day. My only wish is that all this was happening at 8 o'clock in the morning instead of 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It would be like, wow, couldn't we enjoy the whole day like this? But you'll have the afternoon, the late afternoon and the evening, because this will be building toward, and then it will be totally in effect for the rest of the evening. And tomorrow you can enjoy it. It will be pretty much in effect for the rest of the week, so you can enjoy that energy. And you know what? The eclipse energy will be tapering down as well. You'll catch it in its peak this afternoon. But then, of course, it will taper down from there. So, wow, we have some stuff to play with. There is some phenomenal energy in the sky, and I hope that you catch it, enjoy it, put all the pieces together, Enjoy that fire from that grand trine. Wow! Just love that. Hopefully you can just kind of find some space tomorrow evening to get quiet and be in this energy. So quiet things down to capture it. Enjoy it. We'll see you tomorrow.